Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate your time. Tonight, we are talking about the Nancy Guthrie case. And dang, if it is not getting crazier by the minute, Daphne. Are you there, Daphne?
Oh, yeah, there is a lot coming out, and want to welcome in everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We are here
Yeah.
to bring the most latest information on what is going on in the Nancy Guthrie case.
Yes.
How are you doing today, Justin? Doing okay?
Good. Thank you, Miss Smiley. Thank you, Daph. Yeah, lots coming out. I think there's going to be an arrest soon. I get that feeling.
I absolutely. Oh, me too. Me too. They've been in searching and found some really interesting stuff, in my opinion.
Yes. So last night, Trump, he spoke on that he thought there was going to be something break soon, and they were in the garage. Of course, FBI went back yesterday. I think that they are just getting on it now. They're just like, hell with this. Sheriff. I think the sheriff is a good guy. I just think he's over his head. I really think he's just over his head in this. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree. I absolutely agree with you.
And so they labeled this car as forensics, right? So it makes me wonder, why the hell are they here for this car? Was this car used at some point, Daphne? You know what I mean? Like, why are they taking this car in? Do you have any
And
thoughts
why
on that?
now? And why now? Why wasn't it
Yeah.
taken in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, literally 6 days after. Not only that, they were taking the camera off of I call it the mother-in-law suite. She has her house, and then there's another little apartment beside. They were taking that off yesterday. Absolutely crazy. Crazy all of this is going on.
Did we ever find out?
Go ahead.
Sorry. Did we ever find out if anybody actually stays in that mother-in-law suite, like a medical practitioner or anybody that helps to come take care of her or something of that sorts?
Nothing that I'm aware of. Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing. Now, also, just in the last few minutes, the Pima County Sheriff's Office has tweeted out and put out that we do not currently have any press briefings scheduled for the Nancy Guthrie investigation. If something breaks, we will call one immediately and email our media partners, as well as post here. Sheriff Nanos is also not granting any interviews at this time. They are on stealth mode right now.
Oh yeah, they absolutely are. I agree
They're
with
working
that.
hard. Yeah, they're working really, really hard with this. And so hopefully it's going to be an arrest today or whatever. We have so much to cover during this live stream. Last night, we were live, and their Fox News was there with their drones up, and even though they had pushed everyone back, all the media back, nonetheless, Fox was there, and they were getting the goods with what the FBI and stuff were doing. Let me just show you this before we get into the meat and potatoes of the live stream. This was Trump last night on Air Force One, going to, I think it was headed to Florida, speaking about the Guthrie case.
FBI is now. I'll give you a little statement. I think we're doing very well on that regard. You're probably surprised to hear that. I think we're doing very well. Very well, meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong. And I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Is this a nationwide search? Is this a search going to Mexico?
I'm not talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution. We have some things I think that will maybe come out reasonably soon from DOJ or FBI or whoever that could be
suspect.
Yeah, could be definitive.
So
When do you expect us to hear?
A lot's taken place in the last couple of hours. A lot of things have happened with regard to that horrible situation.
Could be definitive.
Mr. President, you promised
Could be definitive. That I think that they have a suspect in mind or suspects in mind. That's just my opinion. Even though law enforcement, I want to be very clearly, they've not said that they have a suspect or person of interest at all. But we know the FBI works in stealth mode, right? That's what they do.
Absolutely. Yeah. He says an agreement basically will be done. It seems like is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can I show some stuff just of some of the
Of course.
pictures of them searching and on the roof and stuff? I appreciate all of you for being here with Justin and I today. Whichever chat you're in, can you please hit that subscribe and like button for us? We've got all the latest information, you guys. And there was just a new.
We've not
Did I
slept.
put it up here? Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to play this real quick. This was them last night. They had left the Guthrie home. They had went to Ann's house. Allegedly, Annie and them have not been at the house. They have been elsewhere, including Savannah. However, they went back to the house last night, and they were there about 5 minutes, and they left, and then they went back to the sheriff's station. So that's, I was thinking last night, I was like, oh my God, is there going to be an arrest today? But there wasn't, but I think we're getting close.
I feel that there will be soon. I see the dominoes lining up. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah,
and you
now
got
we're
security in both places.
Absolutely. Now they're talking about one second here. I'm just getting some information in.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Go ahead, Daph. If you want to say anything.
I was just going to show some photos, but I was looking at this video here of them. Yeah, they've got security in both places as well.
Yes.
In front of.
Sure do.
So these are just some photo. I just want to show you. You could see the FBI here searching, right? This would be in Nancy's backyard here. There's one here searching. One here. Just try to zoom in as close as I can get for you guys without being blurry. Look at that large cactus. That's just crazy to me.
Stuck in the snow.
But yeah. What do you guys think that they are looking at there, guys, in the yard? You think something was buried there?
I don't think anything was buried. I just don't think anything was buried. I think wherever Nancy is, I think she's really close to home. They are now saying that allegedly the person that is writing these notes is, how can I say it, is close by. They are saying in we'll say the Phoenix area. Yeah. And so it was very well written. But AI can write things nowadays, and you don't really know. But there is something. Actually, I think Brian Enton put this out earlier. He talks about how. Actually, let me just pull it up if that's okay. You got more pictures you want to show there?
Just a couple more. There was just I wanted to show. There's just photos of them on the roof here.
That's a camera.
Not to make it so
yes,
blurry.
that's a camera that they were.
That's the camera.
Yeah,
Removing.
and there's
here.
There's like what is it? I'm trying to think of the solar. It's got like a solar box and all that. But this should have, I mean,
Right.
I know it's easy to criticize sitting from our desk or our home and all of that. I understand that. But to me, this should have been taken days ago.
Oh, I agree.
Days ago.
Mhm.
Why not? Why not? We know the camera from Nancy's place, the front camera it's gone. It's gone. This is what
Mhm.
this is very interesting about what you're going to see. Brian Inton, of course, we all know who Brian is. Great, great reporter. He is talking about this letter here. So watch this.
I wanted to give you guys an update. I'm outside Nancy Guthrie's house here in Tucson. There's not going to be any official updates coming out of the sheriff's office today. There's not going to be another press briefing. They said that unless something happens or there's a big development, we should not expect there to be any kind of press conference today. So I won't have any new information coming out of the sheriff's office as of now. Something that is new, though, is someone who saw the ransom letter is saying that there is something else in the letter that alludes to the fact that the person who wrote it knows something about Nancy Guthrie that is important. And I'm not talking about the Apple iWatch or the floodlight.
Okay, so the Apple iWatch, there was, supposedly in the letter at one point or another, they mentioned the Apple iWatch, and then the floodlights. It is in the back, like they wouldn't be able to. You can't see the floodlights from out front, but he's going to go on to explain here how there's something more into the letter that you and I are not privy to. None of the public isn't. That they sent to, what was it? KO. I can't remember. I'll think of it here in a second. But what is it?
Oh no, I was just go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So they sent this letter really trying to show that they are who they say they are. But I believe KOLD, thank you guys in chat.
Yeah, there you go.
But I really believe that this is, in my opinion, someone buying time. Because in my opinion, if Nancy was really alive, they would show her. They would show her. Why wouldn't you show her?
I agree.
Like that's going to get things moving, Daphne.
Yeah. Oh no, right? I agree. Instead of playing games, yeah.
Right. Two reasons why law enforcement or FBI is on this now, in my opinion. One is she's either dead, or two, she's been taken across state lines.
I don't think she's been taken across.
I don't either.
State lines, but just in my opinion, I believe she's no longer with us. Number one, just because of her medication. Yep. Now, they never told us if any. Yes, they said her medication was there, but they never said, did they count the pills that were still in the bottle? Did someone take some of the medication out to bring with them? Or if they're a medical practitioner or somebody that comes to the house here and there, do they have backup medication for her? Because they said it's like life-threatening, like she needs it within 24 to 48 hours.
No, there's been no proof of life. And number two, they usually try to get in touch with the family, not TMZ or KOLD.
KOLD, yeah.
Yeah.
The local news.
Right. They're usually trying to get in touch with the family. You're trying to get in touch with the people who's got the emotion behind, that's emotional, that's got the money, right? This is just someone playing ball, I think, to buy time for themselves. Because if Nancy is alive, in my opinion, they're going to show a picture. They're just going to show a picture. All right, here we go.
No, I agree.
Harvey Levin at TMZ has also said that he believes that the person is, based on what is in the letter, that a part of it that hasn't been made public, he believes that the person who wrote it is in the Tucson area, which is kind of interesting. I don't really know how to elaborate on that because I don't know what part.
Tucson area. I think I said Phoenix earlier. I apologize. I just realized I said Phoenix earlier. Someone just wrote me. I apologize. But the Tucson area.
Yeah.
Whoever is writing this letter, and you got to remember, there's been allegedly multiple letters, right? The first deadline. Did my camera just go? Damn.
No, I still see you.
Nope, it's getting ready to die. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me pop this up. So let me play this. Do you want to talk for a second, Daph? While I can
Yeah, I'm gonna talk.
figure it out. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, when I heard that the local news received the ransom letters, and then you have TMZ out of everybody, right? Why is TMZ, who mainly reports like Hollywood, you know what I mean? Like just not really news. I mean, it's news, but it's like Hollywood news. Why would they send them one? That was definitely a red flag to me. Definitely. Now this recent ransom, like Justin said, they would be showing proof of life. Like the family has asked for something, not just some, I call it riddles, it seems like. I mean, we don't have the ransom letter, but you would think there'd be a short video clip or at least a photo of her. So I just feel that she's no longer with us. And I hate saying that because we're all on the edge of our seats right now, waiting to find out if she's with us or if she's not. But with like, my mom has a heart condition, right? And she probably takes the same medications as Nancy. And if my mom goes a day or two without her medications, she's not making it. And that alone, not even adding on stress from this entire situation. And then we have been confirmed that the blood belongs to Nancy on the doorstep. What could that have been from? Did she fall and hurt herself? Or, I mean, we were even talking about the pacemaker being cut out. So could it be somebody that's in the medical field that knows how to, because it's right underneath your skin? What do you guys think? What do you think, Justin? What do you think the blood could have? Yeah, it's not a lot of blood, but there was.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think it's been taken out or anything, the pacemaker. But I do. I don't know with the timing. This time frame. Let's pull up the time frame first before we get into this.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I have it here somewhere. Because it's the time frame is very interesting when you look at all of this. Very, very interesting. It makes me wonder, Daph, about how all of this is working out. With it's very odd to me. You've got. Oh, did you hear? Well, wait a second. Let me ask the chat this, because this is something I am confused about. Did Nancy actually take an Uber over to her family's house that night?
I've heard that.
Does anyone? That is something I've not seen anything confirmed on that. I've asked sources on that, and they say yes, but that's just what they heard, and I've never got to see a source on it yet. Some people are saying yes.
Yeah.
And to me, people can look at that in two different ways, right? You can look at like maybe that's, but why didn't she drives? You know what I mean? Like she has a car. She still drives, right?
She still drives. That's from what I believe, because she has a car. I mean, we weren't told otherwise.
I mean, her car was taken, obviously. So, like what the hell? Why is she not? Why did she not drive there? Why did her family not pick her up?
Maybe because it was going to be dark when she got back.
That's right. That makes sense, Babylon. That makes sense.
Well, Well, and that too. And then just think, like, my mom still drives, right? I mean, she's younger than Nancy, but she can't see that well at night. So maybe she knew when she went over to their home that it was going to be dark when she got back. So, but yet on the other hand, we heard that either Annie or Annie's husband drove her back.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I mean, he did. He did. And it was him alone, by the way.
yeah, they don't drive at night. Yeah,
Right.
exactly. And alone.
But he drove her back alone,
Yeah.
right? The interview Uber driver and was cleared. Yeah, I don't think the Uber driver had absolutely anything to do with it. I live in Tucson, and the roads would have. It's very dark, and we learned last night that because of, I think, something from back in 1972, the light pollution, which is interesting. So even the lights are kind of dimmed even at night.
Light ordinance, yes.
Yeah. But, since the beginning, even when they said that he drove her back, I think it's weird how he didn't allegedly take her to the door, walk her inside, because I always said with my grandmother, when she lived alone, I would take her in the house. I would even look under the beds and stuff. You know what I mean? Just to make her mind more clear, you would think. Uber was a way to, that's very, forget me not. Uber was a way, I agree with it's that. Very possible. It's could corroborate it. Absolutely. Okay. Do you want to say anything about this timeline here?
Can't really read it off there, but I got one right here.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. I can make it.
I got it right here.
Okay.
We can just go through it again if you want. So we'll just go through a quick timeline. So Saturday, January 31st, Nancy travels to her local family's home, which we were just speaking about right now. At 9:48, family drops Nancy off at her home. 9:40.
Can I just say something? Why do we always talk about the timelines? Because what leads up, many times what is happening before, most of the time actually, the minutes, hours that lead up to someone disappearing or a crime happening, is the most important.
Absolutely. Yep. That's.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Wow. Okay. Sorry. I got to get another pair of glasses to put on top of these. So we know that the garage door opened at 9:49 p.m. and within a minute, the garage door closes. So I believe we've been told that Nancy goes into her house through the garage, right? Which is common. People do that.
Yes.
Fast forward to Sunday, February 1st, 1:47 a.m. That doorbell camera disconnects. So it's like a live cam, you guys. Some people don't even get the subscription, or they
didn't have the subscription.
Yeah. So I know I was talking about that yesterday. I'm like, who let the subscription run out, or who?
Most people don't even get it though.
They don't even get it, which is crazy, because what's the use? Just having a live, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes,
it'll alert you. It does alert you, even on the live. It'll let you know if somebody's there, but you can't go back and it's $10. You can't go back and get it from the cloud, which stinks,
Yeah.
So it's useless for crimes, So at 2:12 a.m., camera software detects a person, and then no subscription, of course, no video available. 2:28 a.m., the pacemaker app disconnects from her iPhone. 11:56 a.m., family checks on Nancy, because Nancy always goes to church on Sunday, and she didn't go to church. So that's what sparked the family to call her. And then the 911 call takes place at 12:03 p.m.
Hey, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, okay.
Just got new stuff coming in.
Yeah, no, 12:15, police arrive, and then the ransom deadline on Sunday, 5 p.m. passed. Next deadline Monday, and then the FBI just posted that $50,000 reward. And why was the reward at first $2,500? $2,500 to $50,000. That's a big stretch, right?
It is.
So think about it for a second. That's a lot of money. You would think someone would, if there's more than one person involved, someone would come forward and say something, right? Or if
Hell yeah. There has to be at least another person involved. I mean, 150-pound, 84-year-old person.
She can't walk.
Like, you had to either get her in the car forcefully, which I believe it was forcefully, regardless. But even if like you got her in the car alive forcefully, you've got to take her out, right? I mean, it's like, I think there has to be at least two people or one really strong ass person. Okay, guys. So this is just coming out just a little bit ago. Fox News investigators visit the gas station near the Guthrie home seeking info on potential suspect. Now, we was breaking this story last night, right? Talking about this, but now we've got some footage. One of the Circle K employees was speaking about this, and this Circle K is very, very close to Nancy's home, right? It's kind of like on the corner, if you will.
Yeah, we're making progress.
Okay, one second. We got a commercial.
But I worry we need to do more to avoid another heart attack. I just want him to ask.
Give me 1 second. Is this really going to make me listen to 22 seconds? There's not a skip button. Okay, just give me 1 second, guys. As, this happens. This is not like the... Listen to your heart.
Yeah, go.
Here we go. All right, listen to this. Look at this right here. I'm gonna make.
Okay, that's.
Which one?
This right here.
That Bronco is FBI?
I'm sure. I don't know if it's FBI or just TPD.
Or what?
Or TPD. They didn't say. They were just dressing it.
Oh, really? So just plain clothes?
Yeah, yeah. Like, mostly. She had a bag. But I don't know if he was like something else.
Yeah. Did you get any like foresight that they were coming?
No, they didn't.
They
just showed up.
Oh yeah, look at there's their badges.
That's why I could tell. That's why I remembered what type of thing it was, because it was like it's not.
So Friday at 1:58 p.m.
Yeah.
Can I see the view of them inside at the counter?
Very interesting. They're clearly.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they asked you about?
They just said if they could see camera footage.
And what did you give them?
They came back here. And then that's about it.
And you don't know what they looked at?
No. They're looking for some guy. That's right.
Did they give you like a description of what guy they were looking for?
No, not necessarily.
Okay, do we know if this is a 24-hour gas station?
Did he give
The
you like a
Circle K, I can
description
look it
of
up real
what
quick.
he
Yeah.
looked like?
I think
No,
Circle Ks are 24 hours, right?
Depending on location.
Depending on location. Okay. I always thought they were like 24 hours, but you know, maybe they're looking for, I mean, they're obviously looking for someone or something, but
Yes, open 24 hours.
Okay, yeah, I thought they were all. Husband of kidnapping victims. 1 second, are we? Okay, Nancy Guthrie. Okay. And then the second note shows captor are confident they are not going to be found. The FBI retired agent says, and we're going to review this as well. So they're using something like I'm trying to think of the email. I'll think of it in a second. But God, it's on the end of my tongue. But the email is encrypted from end to end. Even the employees can't see who it's from. And then on top of that, it's a VPN. Now, I believe still investigators will absolutely figure out who it is. The FBI, they have special capabilities. But whoever it is that is sending these emails, they do seem to be confident in all of this. Thank you so much. Forget me not. Really do appreciate you very much, my dear. And thank you, Teresa. Thank you so much for your hard work. Thank you. I appreciate y'all with your support. I just came here. Thank you so much, Jerry Lynn. Okay, so here we go. What the hell's going on? Okay, what's
today? President Trump says there is a very strong clue, or perhaps clues, in the search for Nancy Guthrie. That now enters its 7th day.
I'll give you a little statement. I think we're doing very well on that regard. You're probably surprised to hear that. I think we're doing very well, meaning we have some clues, I think, that are very strong. And I think we could have some answers coming up fairly soon.
Is this a nationwide search? Is this a search going?
I'm not talking about a search. I'm talking about a solution.
the solution?
We have some things I think that will maybe come out reasonably soon from DOJ or FBI or whoever that could be
Suspect?
yeah, could be definitive. Is there
He knows more. You can
A
tell.
lot's taken place in the last couple of hours. It's a lot of things have happened with regard to that horrible situation the last couple of
Now, last night, police towed a vehicle from Nancy Guthrie's home to the sheriff's office, and authorities returned to Annie Guthrie's home. We do not know why. All of this after KOLD, the local outlet there, reported receipt of another note to authorities, apparently containing details that the sender, or maybe senders, seems to think will prove to investigators that it is the same person or people behind the first note. Now let's go to Alicia Acuna for the very latest in Tucson. Alicia.
Hi, Kaylee. We understand that note that was sent to KOLD did not come from the same IP address as the original note, but it did come from the same server. KOLD says it appears to be in response to the video Savannah Guthrie and her siblings released this week, pleading with whoever took their mom to let her go, or at the very least to talk to Nancy Guthrie to see that she is a good woman, one of faith in God and love. They also requested of the abductors that they provide proof of life. According to KOLD, that did not come in this second note. Late Friday afternoon, a large number of investigators returned to Nancy's house, and they spent hours here walking the grounds again, searching with flashlights in the terrain. Our producer also saw them chatting with neighbors as well. They also spent time focused on the roof, and you can see one agent here removing a wired mounted device from the side of the home.
That's the camera.
Another area of attention, the garage to the home. And take a look at these images from our Fox flight team. Last night, while agents were still out here working the scene, our crews decided to go up when it was pitch black out here and took this thermal imaging. Keep in mind, this all came after that second note was received by that TV station. The sheriff's department did not say there was a direct connection between the note.
So last night, whenever they that note came out, right? The note came out, then the FBI went there. They made everybody get off the street. And that's when they start, like, they knew something then. I feel like that is when things shifted. Then Trump came out and said something's going to be, most likely definitive very, very soon. So I look for and then this is the thing. If Annie Guthrie, if she was not home or none of the Guthries was home, they were there for like 5 minutes. Why did they go, towed the car, all of that, went to Annie Guthrie's house and then leave when she's allegedly not there?
No, I agree.
I don't know. Something in the message maybe made them go back to the house. Definitely.
Yep.
I mean, this is the third time. And one thing that has drove me nuts about this case, they went there, did forensics, left, said it was clear, and then went back again, right? Went back again. And then left, clear again, then went back again. Why don't you just hold the entire house until someone is arrested? Nobody needs to be in a hurry, like as far as that house, right? The family aren't itching to get in. It's an active crime right now. Keep it an active crime scene, because like if somebody is charged with this, it is going to be very hard for the prosecutor, and the defense is going to have a fucking field day on this.
They absolutely are.
So thank you so much, Julie, for becoming a member. And thank you so much, Lori, man. Really do appreciate your support. Thank you both so much.
Yes, thank you guys for being here.
Okay,
all of you, thank you.
I can't hit 100%.
Are you kidding me?
Shots,
You're going to make me
but
listen
I
to
can follow
another?
free with
Maybe I'm not going to pause it anymore and talk, because it makes you listen to another 30-second. But this is important. This is very important right here that we're going to listen to.
Yes.
File your taxes
I
free.
think we get.
Speaking of that,
Oh, yes.
I think it has something to do with money.
In Detroit, Michigan, they had the People's Conference for Palestine 2020.
Okay, this is definitely not what I was looking for. Okay.
Motive, yeah. Who has the most to gain?
Yeah. Who has the most to gain? Well, I mean, she was wealthy. But okay, here it is.
Right now, Kaylee, the sheriff's department says they have no plans for a news conference, so we will wait. Kaylee?
Significant developments. Alicia, thank you. Well, let's bring in retired FBI Supervisory Special Agent Lance Lessing. Lance, thank you so much for being here today. You know, as we're thinking about this, I want to start with this note. It is not the same IP address, but it is the same type of server. But what's curious to me, Lance, is the fact that the only sort of correlation we have to the first note is that they're proving they're the same person. Where's the proof of life? If you want your ransom, that's what this is about. It seems like you provide that.
Hell yeah.
Right. If the motive is
That's
financial gain, which from all indications from the note, it appears that way, not an ideological statement, but financial gain, an open line of communication is the way to get that. It's an indicative of potentially a fraudulent note. It's interesting that they're committed to sending a second one if it's the same person, because they're confident they're not going to be found. They're confident they're using anonymizers and changing their IP address and running it through a bunch of different countries for potentially to avoid being tracked. But they're not offering anything that would authenticate they are the kidnappers.
Yeah, Lance, I want you to take a listen. This is a local KOLD reporter. They received the note. We know that initial ransom note went to 3 outlets, and one of those 3 obtained this second letter. Here's the description we have of it.
I would say that this second one, it has a very, very similar, the way that it was put together was very similar. I will say that I don't think that they will classify this second one as a ransom note. There were deadlines in the first letter. The second one, there are no deadlines. In my head, a ransom note is looking for something in return for something else, and this one is not necessarily that.
So what does a family member do? You have the second note. I'm looking, I mean, look, we are less than 48 hours away from the second deadline. What do you possibly do with the information you have?
As a family member, and like you've seen in the statements they've already released, they're begging for an open line of communication. They're begging to negotiate and to talk and to get some proof of life that their loved one is still alive. I mean, as a family member, that's what you do. As an investigator, it's getting very complex. You've got this ransom note that is obviously attracting a lot of attention and a focus of your investigation. But you've increased the reward. You're getting thousands upon thousands of tips. You've had fraudulent ransom notes already submitted to you. It's getting complex. That's why this task force nature and a very organized structure to this investigation is crucial. They need a break. They need something to focus it, and rather than casting that wide net, they need to focus in some way. Maybe this ransom note will do that, but it's not indicating it will.
You have this parallel activity that's going on. And, I was on the 5 last night as this was breaking, and you hear the second note and it gives you hope and you think, okay, great. Maybe Nancy's there. Maybe they can get her back.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden they clear the street in front of Nancy's home and there's police activity and it's
I don't wanna
parallel
pause it 'cause
activity, a note and then a search. What do you make of this? And then a wired device outside the side of the house. This is a third search of the home. I mean, it seems odd it happens at the same time as the letter unless they're connected.
It is odd. That could be circumstantial or it could be connected. It's not unheard of to go back to the scene of a search and research, but doing it 3 times.
Thank you.
Either something's evolving in the case. They're getting more tips and specific information in that note that leads them to certain areas of the house, or they're missing things. I don't believe they're missing things. I think it's an evolving case. They're getting all these different tips in. This additional search could be connected to the ransom note or another tip that we don't even know about. And going back and covering your bases is smart. So, if you need to go back to that house, you go back to that house as an investigator. You don't avoid it. That's where the crime took place. That's where your evidence is going to be.
And they took the car. They couldn't take the car any of the 3 times. They took it the 3rd time. So it does seem that
That's what I
there's
want to
some
talk about.
evolution here. And when you pair that with the president's statements, who's in constant contact with the FBI, I want to play something that got a little attention, but I think it deserves a lot of attention. Listen to Sheriff Nanos. We know the camera on the outside of the house was fully removed. We know there are cameras on the inside of the house that were not removed. Here's what he shared.
There's multiple, is it? There are multiple cameras. One on the front, and that's the one that's missing?
It is the one at the front door area.
Are the other cameras missing?
Not to our knowledge. We don't know that.
No.
We don't know of any other camera missing.
Got it. So could it have been those other cameras that said person detected?
Again, I don't know.
You won't talk about
I'm
it.
thinking that's possible. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it's
because nobody's saying it's this camera. We don't know that.
Lance, here's my question. So you go into the inside of the house. You are intent on kidnapping someone. You've destroyed a camera on the outside of the house. Why wouldn't you destroy the ones on the interior unless you had intimate knowledge they were not a threat to you, they were not capturing you? It leads me to
There you go.
Might have been familiar with the home.
And they had to know there was no subscription for the front door.
Oftentimes
Most
ineffective.
likely.
Most of the storage of the actual video surveillance isn't in that camera itself. It's in a server or in the cloud or offsite.
Yep.
So actually destroying the camera might
So they-
stop additional surveillance coverage of yourself in the house, but it's not going to delete the previously captured surveillance images.
But
So
they didn't have a
that's one thing.
surveillance.
I do think that we had a
cloud.
45-minute timeline where the suspect could have been in the house. A person was detected, and then ultimately Nancy's pacemaker was disconnected. That's a long time to be in a house.
Yeah.
And then you have the blood stains out front, which they're not insignificant. It's not 1 or 2 drops. It's a decent amount of blood. Something happened in that house outside their plans. I highly doubt that was their plan to hurt her or harm her inside that house. They really wanted to hold her for this extended period of time. They don't want her injured.
Yeah, well,
So something went wrong in that house.
we hope she's not injured. Our prayers are with this family.
Yep. They had to know that the other cameras were not significant, right? Either
Absolutely.
they had to know what was up with this, with this home, or they had to, at the very minimum, at least case the place, right? At the very, very minimum, case the place. Now, they are looking for a vehicle of interest, right? That could have been at this Circle K gas station as well. Okay, so we know that they checked Tomosa's vehicle, right? The one that drove Nancy home that night. Now they have Nancy's vehicle as well that they towed in last night, and they are doing forensics on that, right? Now they're looking for this vehicle that is attached in some way to this Circle K. Is it one of these two vehicles? Or is this something different?
Yeah. And not to mention, Justin, I wonder if there's a way, the reason why they took the front door camera, right? I wonder if there's a way to actually pull the video off of that camera. Is there?
Well, the front door camera is completely missing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Gone.
Even though it didn't go to the cloud, it still recorded somebody walking up there. So could that had say, you know what I mean? Would they be able to pull
is
that
it
off the
possible?
camera?
I mean, maybe there's some FBI technology, but
Yeah, kind of like a camera holds the film, does a video.
well, but that's what the cloud normally holds the data, right? But
it didn't go to the cloud.
it didn't go to the cloud, and the camera's not there. If you don't.
Yeah. So I wonder if they could actually stay in the camera somehow since it viewed it. Could they take the lens out?
You mean like in the network somehow?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
if it's plugged in.
Well, there's no SD card because the old cameras have SD cards. A lot of the old cameras, the SD cards for security cameras that's way outdated now. Everything's really on a cloud.
Yeah.
In that way, because it used to be like it would be on a DVR box or on a SD card, and all the perpetrator would have to do was steal the DVR box, right? And you couldn't do nothing, right? Because that's where all the information is. Or they could take that card out, and that's why everyone wants it on a cloud now, because if you don't have access to that account, or there's nothing you can do.
Well, it makes me wonder if this person didn't know how that Ring camera worked, so that's why they took it.
Absolutely.
Just in case, right?
Absolutely.
But they had to have known where the cameras in the home actually pointed to.
Brian Enton just updated just a few minutes ago.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Nancy Guthrie's house, they have reopened the road today. You guys remember yesterday they shut everything down, moved us all out. So the FBI and the sheriff's office is now gone. The road is open back up. We can get right back in front of the house again. There's no crime scene tape again. So it's kind of back to the way that it was. We obviously had our drone up yesterday, so we were able to see some of what they were doing. They took a camera off it was on the roof, it looked like. I think they took the floodlight out of the back.
Yeah.
They took
It's something wrong with his audio. I don't know what it is, but it's just
Nancy's car. If you look back at my videos, I have video of that. And the latest today is the sheriff's office has said there are no planned press conferences today. There's no updates coming out unless something significant happens. So we're back outside the house. I'll keep you guys posted with what happens today. I got a couple little leads that I'm going to follow up on. And everybody's sort of back to where they were here after sort of a pretty eventful day. I'm thinking a lot about what President Trump said on Air Force One, saying that there could be a solution soon. So it seems like things are moving behind the scenes. We have another crew over at Annie's house. So I'll keep you guys posted.
Thank you so much, Mr. Enton. So no press conference as of now, but that could be something very, very soon. If we listen to Mr. Trump, President Trump. Okay, so this was earlier, or maybe this I think this was earlier today. And speaking about the neighbors, I want to talk about. Okay, so one of the neighbors uh, was talking about. Let me pull it up here. The roof of the house. As you can tell, the roof of the house is a brilliant white, which is a common color. You would want to have your roof in, one of the hottest places on the planet. But the neighbor said that the garage roof is flat and it easily gets dirty. So when she saw how white Nancy's roof was from the media drone footage, it drew suspicion due to the previous weather events that had run in the area recently. And it was that tip that supposedly led FBI to seizing a solar-powered camera missing in prior searches. Did she recently have the roof redone, or what is up with this? Don't know.
It does look like a new roof.
It does.
Where is there an air conditioner on that roof? Just
Yes.
curious. Okay.
Yeah, they were looking. There's duct work and all that. Yesterday that they were looking in the duct work and all that.
Director Jessica Bogula. Jessica, thanks so much for coming on. You've read this new message. First of all, did it provide any proof of life that the family's been asking for?
No, it did not.
Did it say anything at all about Nancy's condition?
I can't go into those details.
But clearly the FBI is now swarming Nancy's house, especially in the backyard area. Was there anything in this newest message that would direct FBI to go look or find something?
We're not releasing details of what is contained in the email out of respect for the family, other than what you saw in Mary's social post, which actually the reporter also mentioned as well about the IP address.
But the key is we just saw that video from Cameron Guthrie last night at this exact time. The night before that, we had the video from all three of the Guthrie siblings with Savannah, Annie, and Cameron, all asking repeatedly, urgently, for proof of life. And you're saying this newest email does not provide that.
This newest email is something that I believe the FBI will need to look into without any interference. And so what we did the first time that we received the note, which is immediately send it to investigators and not report on it. And when we were able to speak with the sheriff's office and they decided to put out a statement jointly with the FBI, then we were able to confirm that, yes, we did receive a second note.
When did you get that? What time was that?
That was about 11:45 this morning.
And apparently you've been saying, Mary Coleman, who was on the show last night, your anchor, your evening news anchor.
Hold on,
said
guys. We're
that
getting some
it's
interesting
from a
stuff in.
different
Hold on.
IP address in the first one, but it still appears to be from the same person.
Yes. So what we have done is shared the information that we have. So the notes were both sent through our news tip system. So it does not need to come from a personal email address. You fill out a form. So through what we are able to do, in our back end with our website and our technology that we have here, we're able to make sure that the FBI has as much information as we can provide about.
We're going to come right back to
from.
this in just a minute, but I want to show you this, what is being reported on right here. We looked at this just a second ago. But new local detectives and the FBI have canvassed the area between the two Guthrie homes in search of a video of an unidentified male. The first description we're hearing of a potential person of interest via Sarah how do you pronounce her? Witten. Let's go here.
Whitson.
Okay. Scoop. Fox News Digital obtained surveillance footage showing investigators at a gas station near Nancy Guthrie's Tucson home seeking information related to a potential suspect in her disappearance. Okay, let's go back to this. Can you see this?
Let me see.
I think it's just a matter of time. I swear I do.
Oh, I do too. I think today.
Okay, that's
Which one?
this right here.
That Bronco is FBI?
I'm sure. I don't know if it's FBI or just TPD.
Or-
TPD. They didn't say. They were just dressed like.
Oh, really? So just plain clothes?
Yeah, yeah. Like, mostly. She had a badge, but I don't know if he was like something else.
Yeah. Did you get any like foresight that they were coming?
No, they didn't.
They
They just showed up.
Oh yeah, look at there's their badges.
That's why I could tell. That's why I remembered what time they came, just because it was like it's back.
So Friday at 1:58 p.m.
Yeah.
Can I see the view of them inside at the counter?
That's what you're showing now.
And so the person that would be leaving or going to her house, they're pretty much going to have to pass this place.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they asked you about?
They just said if they could see.
And what did you give them?
They came back here. And then
I just was reading
You don't know
that.
what they looked at?
No. They're looking for some guy. That's what.
Did they give you like a description of what guy they were looking for?
No.
You never know.
Really. They said looking for a guy that got away. That's what they said. For some shit like that.
Did he give you like a description of what he looked like?
No description.
I want to answer that, Captain.
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to read that? I got it pulled up.
Yes. So question, what do you think about the church story being debunked? The members say she hasn't gone in 4 years, watches remote. Who made up the church story? Seems like a family wanted to have an excuse to finding her. Yeah, I was just reading something just a couple minutes ago about that, how she goes remotely or she goes in person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm actually looking for that right now. I was just reading it about the church.
You can watch. There's I've even seen cases where people were they've unalived people, church congregations for because like they left a lot of their money to the church or the church pastor, all that as well. So it is a little convenient that she has allegedly not went to church since the Rona, right? And but you got to also remember, like we're talking 2:00 in the morning when her heart what's the word? I can't think of what's her heart
Pacemaker.
Pacemaker. Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
What wouldn't was the last time it was online? From 2 till about 10 or 11 in the morning. That's not a lot of time. That's really not a lot of time for someone to clean up anything, if you will, or hide. I think you're frozen, Daff. Oh, there you go. You're good now.
Okay.
Yes, she had not went to church since COVID. I can't hear because of the construction work going on around me. The church. So is it the church story true or not? Well, she allegedly did the church online. I went to the website yesterday of the church, and you can absolutely view, as you can, a lot of. Oops, hold on, guys. You got some.
I got it in here, the church stuff, and I was going to read something to you guys.
Please go for it.
Yeah. Do you want to put that up? And then I'm just going to read something real quick. So it's been said and posted different ways on different sites, right? And media outlets that she went to church in person and online. But at first it made it seem like she went to church every single day, like never missed church, right? And that's what sparked them to call.
Well, I will say that in Savannah's book, she said that when she grew up, they went to church 3 times a week, and she said Jesus was the 7th member of their family. They've always went to church. Right now, as someone gets older, obviously that can change. Right,
Yeah.
health troubles, they don't feel like getting out, various things. You don't have as much energy, obviously, when you're 84 years old, and truly, you're 84 years old. You're on the sunset of your life. It's
Yes.
you're on the closing end
Harder to get around.
to begin with. So you just don't have the energy as you probably once did, because she couldn't walk very far.
Yeah, no, exactly. So a lot of older people that can't get around too well and stuff like that will actually watch online. I know my grandmother, she was avid in the church. I mean, she would never miss church. She went Wednesdays and Sundays. And at the end, the last couple of years, she just went online, and watched it on YouTube or.
Yep, you're freezing.
Am I? Okay, here, let me do this. I just want to just read something real quick. It's just in some places it said that she didn't show up for church, and that's why someone called the family. Someone else on here posted online that she stopped attending in person and started attending online since the pandemic, like you said. And so it's kind of odd, right? Like, so why would someone say that she didn't show up and contact the family? I'm just showing pictures.
I think it's very quickly how quickly the church called. You know what I mean? Like within an hour. I mean, what time is the first Sunday school? Let's check that.
Yeah, let's
Or
see
does
what
Chad even know? Chad, do we know what time the Sunday school happened that morning? Do you know what I mean? Like, is the first service 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock? Because a lot of times there's more than one service. Let's check that. That's what I was wondering, Wendy. What did Wendy say? Guys, if you're just joining us, whichever chat that you're in, please do us a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate that. There's about 12,000 watching right now. And if you would hit that thumbs up button, no matter which chat you're in, it would mean so much to us. Her church friends noticed she didn't show up online and asked family if she was okay. Then the family couldn't get in touch with her. I don't think that's weird that the friends were concerned. I don't think it's weird that the friends were concerned at all. But I guess, let's see here.
Justin, it says that we also offer live streams of our 9 a.m. and 10:45 a.m. worship. So they've got 2 different live streams of their worship, 9 o'clock a.m. and 10:45. It says children are invited to participate in worship and or attend Sunday school on Sunday mornings. They don't give a time for that. But it says worship lasts around 60 to 70 minutes, includes prayer, music, and a message to grow your faith. So 9 a.m. and 10:45 a.m. So those would be the timeline of when it would be online and in person. Obviously, if they're doing a live stream, that's the time they start.
My question is, how did they know about, like, how did her friends know she wasn't at church? I guess is my question. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe, I don't know. You never know if she spoke to one of her church church acquaintances or friends the night before or a couple days prior and said,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm going to attend this weekend in person, and maybe we can have lunch later or something." We just don't know. Or maybe they were going to meet up for breakfast before, something like that. So sometimes
Maybe.
churches will hold breakfasts or lunch or kind of at the church.
Okay.
So that could have been. I'm just speculating there, of course. I don't know that to be a fact.
Sure. What about child protection going to both houses, not a child abduction? Why are they? Ooh, I have not heard that, Judith, at all.
What?
I don't know. That's, people make up shit all the time, so who knows? But people are gonna. So this is Annie Guthrie when she was, and there's no audio on it, but when she was speaking about her book and The Good Dark. Don't know why they didn't have a housekeeper living with her. Some do. Well, some people just likes their independence and all that. It really just depends on how someone wants to live and all of that. I mean, okay, so going to go to News Nation now, and hold on, let me read this. Excuse me. These dark, necessary lines lay tangent to each other, glance against one intensity, only to err into different discovery, where the spiritual must grapple with the fact of the body, and where the body takes the blame for the depths of depths of the mind, from the forwarded by Danny Beachy Quick. Annie Guthrie writes, beneath the darkness, above it, next to it, up on it, and below it. The good dark stuns with the metaphysical inquiry into this simultaneously detaches and attaches us to this world. The haunting music of these lyric poems lifts out of a language of intimacy employed to address the delicate nature of belief. Annie Guthrie writes, given everything that gives forms our lips, it's only with the shape of zero, and the clarity encapsulates us into our silences. She gives the voice into the blur, which could be defined as an existence without edges or ledges, and it still creates an entrance. The good dark is a gift of infinite mindfulness. Okay, that's a bit extreme.
Yes. Deep.
These people. Why can't you just say it's a good fucking book? Like, just say it. Just come on now.
Just read my book.
Yeah.
Read my book.
Read the book. It's worth it. That's what I would just say. Read the book. It's worth it. Come on. Why do people got to be so falsy? They got to be so falsy. Come on. It's a good book. Let's get real, people.
I know. Check.
Yeah. Okay. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that there is going to be an arrest in the next 24 to 48 hours, in your opinion. Now, you guys think there's going to, and also after that, do you think there is going to be an arrest before Nancy is found or after Nancy is found? Before or after? You can write before or after, because they may know who is involved, but they may not know where Nancy is. And they may arrest someone in order, right, to get that person to be, number one, off the street. Number two, they can't interfere with these damn letters anymore or emails, right? And all of that. So, just going to have to see. I think around the same time or after. Zoom in on Annie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was going to ask you to play this again if we can watch her.
Play what?
when they read that.
When she reads that thing?
Yeah, when they
No,
read
I'm
the
trying to find the actual, I don't have, like, the audio, and it annoys the hell out of me just watching her sitting there talking, but if anybody's got the one, let me see if I can find the one with the audio. But that's
Here.
her and Anna and Savannah seem like very two different people. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Do you think so? Like, I just feel like they are just two different people. I think they love each other, right? And all of that, but
They do seem very like two different people. One seems more genuine than the other, kind of. Does
yeah.
that make sense?
Well, I mean,
So they
I
were
don't want to
putting
say
billboards up too.
I don't want to say
Sorry.
genuine or anything like that, but I just think they're two different styles.
Mhm. Day and night.
You know what
say
I
that.
mean?
Mhm.
Chevron employees that went to the FBI also went to the Chevron and the DQ for surveillance footage. This is at the In Oracle Road. It's between where Nancy got the, yeah, we saw that video yesterday. Is this? Oh, okay, I got it. I
Mhm.
found it. Look here, guys. I got
You
it.
got it? Okay.
We'll watch her talk right here. Here we go.
Yeah, this is odd.
Guys, if you're just joining us, please hit that thumbs up button. Share this live out. It means so much. I really do appreciate every one of you guys being here today, and all of that. Thank you so much, GA. Really do appreciate you as well. Okay, here we go.
Poems are from the final section body.
Do what?
Behind the pupil, a floret of lines burst toward release. A question is raised. The body gives its cross-hatched replies.
Huh?
Whatever in the bloom, what never, on what dream's shelf is ever wilting. On top the night's helm,
I don't get poetry like this. Whatever in the bloom.
I don't either.
What is happening? That's what I'm saying, Miss Kelsey. Whatever in the bloom. Whatever in the bloom.
Mhm.
Kiss my bloomin' burger.
Bloomin' burger.
Oh, no, shit.
These poems are
I don't
find it just embodied toward release. A question is raised. The body gives its cross-hatched replies.
The body gives its cross-hatched replies.
Whatever in the bloom.
That's going to be my new phrase. Whatever in the bloom is going on here. Folks, whatever in the bloom is going on here. I agree, bloomin' onion. Or maybe a bloomin' idiot, perhaps. I've heard of a bloomin' idiot before, and a bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' onion.
What never.
No, I feel really bad for her that she's going through all of this. Honest to God, like I can't.
On what dream's shelf is ever wilting? On top the night's helm, my howling, starless, stark ahems. The tyrant ahas.
What?
Ahas.
Unmoored from port of stem, thinkers keep their words.
It does sound very depressing.
Put too many coins in GD.
Hold on,
It doesn't play. And then
ahem. Let's go back to. I know the ahem, But what?
It doesn't play.
Hold the hell on.
Put too many coins in GD.
Clients and NG. What
Put
does that
too
mean?
many coins.
Coins. Okay.
It doesn't play.
It doesn't play.
And then, if still or even unplucked from the hook and hung by, get me down, I'm upside down, trying the will, riding it. Bones tell too much of life to skin.
What?
I don't know.
Behind
I don't know
all
that word.
faces, all bone. I saw in one moment an eye open enough to soften the gaze. In there,
The gaze.
should
Oh,
dare
the gaze. Sorry.
weigh nothing.
You didn't get the joke, Daff?
The Edgar Allan Poe.
Walking days under rib cage of oaks by the river. Sometimes it opens. You are in the body of oak bones. Other times whitens in grimace. Retrieves a perceiving.
I like the grimace from McDonald's.
Or it could be a body. It might be your body. In that case,
No, Poe was good.
How silly all this time.
It's like me when I first wake up.
I don't get this, to be honest with
I
you.
don't
I mean, I respect her and all of that, but I don't get this kind of poetry. I know it's interpretation and all that, but it just doesn't sound like it's any fucking thing that's, I mean, honestly, if like I would be really depressed sitting here listening to poetry like this at all times. You know what I mean?
Heck yeah. My brain don't even want to comprehend it. I'm sorry, but it's true. Like I'm just
No, not at all. All right, guys.
I do want to talk about
Please
motives, though.
Mm-hmm.
Motives. What would be a motive for someone to take a 84-year-old woman, right? Money or jealousy, envy of what is their purpose of doing this? What are they wanting? So they want to get money out of it, but yet they're not really working too hard to show proof of life. It doesn't seem like. So are they really doing it for money?
One thing that's interesting to me is they kind of like, you know how like they was really searching for her in the beginning. And I mean, I think they're searching for her, but it was like a search where they went out to look for her, like a ground search. They don't seem to be doing that anymore. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem to be doing that anymore. Yes, I mean, there's only it's as old as time. There's only a few reasons why someone you unalive them. And it usually has to be someone that cares about you, that has an emotional aspect, whether it's financially, right? Sex, which you don't really think of an 84-year-old woman, you know, like having a romantic interest, because at that age, usually, like if someone's 84 years old that has a love interest, they're usually fairly old themselves. And whenever, even though you think unalivings like that doesn't happen between 84-year-olds, they absolutely do, but they're not able to move around. Like if someone dies, like they just you can't move them around. So they get caught really quickly. Okay. New York Post. What are they saying here?
Why now, too? Why now? Why
What do you
did
mean by now?
Like, why now? Why take her now, right? I mean, her daughter, if it was because of her daughter, who's, she works for the Today Show. I mean, she's been there for a long time. Why?
Question.
It was something to do with that. Why now? Did something change in her life recently?
Mm-hmm.
Just questions I have, you guys.
Yeah. Don't know what you mean by Sharon by that. But where's the Olympics? Is it in Italy?
Yes, Milan.
So this is a question. This is a question, and I have again. I'm speculating out the ass right now when I say this because I don't want to make. I'm not saying anyone is involved or anything like that. But one thing that just I keep thinking about is the Olympics is in Italy. Savannah was going to Italy.
Yes.
Someone from her family married into the family that is from Italy.
Yes.
And was there a promise or was there an exposure that was going to be opened up there? I can't get that out of my head. I mean, things, they say coincidence doesn't happen. So I don't know.
No, I agree with you. I've been questioning that as well.
It's a.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people talk about the Epstein things as well, but I mean,
it's Occam's razor usually. I don't think there's some big conspiracy. I honestly don't. I mean, maybe there is, but I just.
But okay, so think about this again. What would stop you from going to the Olympics if you had a job there to do, right?
Your mom. Something happening with your mom. That would be one of the main reasons, or you getting hurt or something.
Right.
Absolutely.
It bothers me. A family crisis, yes.
And she did. She canceled it. And she was really looking forward to going. Savannah was really looking forward to going, as from what I heard, going to the Olympics this year.
Sharon, I don't know what you mean by that. That will only cover this, but will allow the other subscribers to read the comments. There's two different chats going on, Sharon, at this. Actually, there's technically 4 because there's 2 verticals, 2 different channels, 2 verticals and 2 horizontals right now. So you're not going to be able to see everyone, but we'll help you on the way out. Congratulations, out of 12,000 people, you're the only one that I've seen that's doesn't get it, apparently. There's always got to be one. Caroline, thank you so much, my friend. Welcome to the Pearl family. Really, really do appreciate you, my dear. And Mallory, 7 months. Appreciate you, love. Thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate that. My borderline family member will create distractions to steal attention from people. Yeah. Yes. Leilani, good to see you, my love. Hi, Justin. Today's my 37th birthday, and was wondering if you could sing it to abso-freaking-lutely, Leilani. Thank you so much, my love. We will sing happy birthday to you.
Yes, happy birthday.
This is my rendition of Marilyn Monroe. Bring out your earplugs. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Leilani. Happy birthday to $37 years. Wait till you hit 40. It's all downhill from there.
Oh, yes, girl. Oh, my, it's horrible.
Just kidding. Happy birthday, dear. Okay. Let's okay, what were we talking about? Oh, the Olympic part. Like, I've heard people talking about, well, you know, was something promised that, for like Savannah was going there. Some people can be living a lie in a family for 20 years. He's been in the family a long time.
Yes.
Your camera froze, Daff.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just don't know. Like, when you think about, she was hosting this Winter Olympic, right at the time
Mm-hmm.
her 84-year-old mom goes missing.
Yeah, no coincidences.
Mm-mm.
And same place, yeah, as a family
Yeah.
member. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get back to this right here.
So there's been billboards put up for her as well recently.
Oh yeah, from San Antonio, even like all over they've been put up.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
old is Annie's child? I have no idea.
Yeah, I know. I heard that the child's younger, but I don't know if that's true. And then I've also
Oh
heard
no,
about a dog.
she is younger. We've got a picture in that Christmas picture
Oh, that's right.
with all
That's
of them
right.
in the pajamas.
That's right. I forgot about that. And what about the dog? So we've heard that Nancy had a dog too at the house, but we haven't heard anything else about it.
Yeah, I've heard about that as well, but the front door was wide open.
Yeah. A poodle. I think passed away. The poodle passed away. Okay.
You're welcome, my dear.
Oh, that's sad.
What is it? The dog was dead?
No.
I heard the dog was dead. Dog passed in December.
Oh, so she was all by herself. That is just so sad.
Oh, that's really terrible.
That's heartbreaking.
Yes.
But it is not from, a certain email address. You just fill it out, you put your name in there, you put what your email address is, but it's not, it's not showing that it is coming from that email address. So the IP address information that we sent to them is, like I said, that it is not the same address, but it does seem to trace back to a similar cloaking software.
And it sounds the same in tone and tenor?
It's hard to tell. There's sentences, sentence structure, but we're also doing a lot of reporting of our own today about how with digital notes, this isn't a piece of paper with magazine letters cut out or anything. It's hard to tell, with things coming through digitally, is it assisted by AI? Is it, written by the same person? It's very difficult to tell.
And did this message have an email address on it?
Yes, our form does require that you put a name, an email address, and a birth date. And so both of the notes had that, but they were not the same as each other, the two notes.
It's just a generic form that they put out where anybody can make this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. Like, I mean, it's obviously a big deal because somebody wrote that. But again, why TMZ and why the local stations?
Yeah, exactly. And then we know the one person who did the ransom at the TMZ was fake.
One of the yeah, but he got out of jail. They
Yeah,
let him out of jail last night.
Yeah, he's been let out.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
There's
not let his ass out of jail. Sorry.
I mean, they gave him bond. They gave him bond.
Still, you should have no bond for doing that. That's ridiculous.
New drone
Sorry.
footage shows floodlight removed.
Some,
Did
someone saying?
Go ahead.
Oh no, someone's saying that the pattern on the doorstep by the blood with the dried flowers looks like maybe there was a wheelchair or something. They took her out in a wheelchair.
Really?
But I don't see.
I don't
see. Yeah. By the way, the blood is, but I don't know.
Did you guys
like she
know
was
in
hanging over? Sorry.
2022, Nancy Guthrie put a photo of her. Hold on.
Hey guys, please hit that like and subscribe if you're just watching from the bushes for us.
Okay, the Circle K next to the Annie Guthrie's house is not the one investigators are focused on. According to the New York Post, the store of interest is 7 miles away from Nancy's home. The closest one to Annie is 2.27 miles away. Very interesting.
That's interesting because they.
Oh.
Huh.
Hold on.
Thank you, Spilled Paint Furniture Flippers. I appreciate you, honey. Watch the yes.
We'll get back to this. Watch this.
Where's that?
Look. This is.
Yeah, look at this, guys.
Annie Guthrie, author, Oracle writing The Good Dark. Let X be rogue. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Cat in the cactus. Those are those Savannah cats?
Those are, yeah, those are the oh my gosh, it's right. Lynx. Aren't they the lynx? Those are lynx. But they've got a specific different kind of name to them.
Yeah.
Oh, those ones, they're very hyper. Yeah, they're gosh, it's gonna drive me crazy now because I know what kind of no, they're not bobcats.
I don't think it's a Bengal because the ears are bigger. I mean, they kind of got the markings of a Bengal.
They look like bobcats, but they're
yeah.
Oh, maybe they are wild bobcats. They are actually.
No, they're not wild bobcats. These are.
Let me see. Blow it up here. Oh, that's her outside door cameras.
Did Chris
Our
put something
bobcats are
new up?
huge here.
Yeah, but these are
Yes.
domesticated cats. These are her cats. 1 second. What's Chris's?
Pretty. Bengals.
So much going on in my head right now.
Yeah, Chris did.
Chris did an amazing interview last night. If y'all want to watch some of that, it's really good with investigators. What he thinks is going on. Hold on. Can you explain why the kidnapper would be buying time? I can't understand why. Well, 1 second here. Yes, I can. I kind of talked about that last night. Because no kidnapper is going to keep an elderly person for ransom for a long time. No criminal, right? They want to get the money and get on with it. They don't want to sit there and hold a 80-some-year-old woman and be sending notes backward and forth, right? The news isn't going to be the one that's paying the ransom. So why are they sending these ransom notes to the news, right? The news doesn't pay for the ransom. They're going to want this to go. They
Exactly.
want this to get directly to that family, is what they're going to want to do, right? So that's why I think that they are buying time, in my opinion. Why not go to the source that's going to pay you, the family, or at least the cops? The fact that there is,
I don't know. It's like
and the fact that no communication time has expired on their initial communication resulted in a zero, no return, no money given, by the way. Right?
No, I agree. Yeah, because they could just send it to the FBI.
Yeah. I mean,
or to the family.
Exactly,
So,
to the family. Exactly to the family. Okay, so what do you want to talk about here?
This is just something I spotted. Well, somebody else spotted too. So this is the roof, of course, right? This is Nancy's house. What is this? Looks like a playhouse or something in there, right? I can't make it any larger. I apologize.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, there's just something that was spotted. Looks like a playhouse in her yard. Or maybe
it might be something for like maybe a grandkid or something. Perhaps.
Kind of looks like what those cats were sitting on just a minute ago. Are those Savannah? I think they're Annie's cats, Annette, hon.
1 second.
Yeah, but I was just saying it looks similar to what those cats were sitting on. That's why I was.
Oh, yeah, it could be something. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Does she have a camera there? Because she did have cameras to watch the wildlife, so that's why I was wondering if one was there.
FBI sweeps Nancy Guthrie's home as 84-year-old continues.
Yeah, bobcats are all around there. So you got the bobcats and you got the animals that they're like kind of like wild pigs. I forgot the name of them. And then you have mountain lions there. You have coyotes, rabbits. I mean, all sorts of animals there. Critters, right?
Let me check that. I've heard that.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Hold on 1 second. I just gotta.
Let me see here. Where do you have Joan? Where did you hear that at? Because I've heard other people talking about that, but I have not seen that whatsoever. The house was bought in the 70s, so there was an old plan. I heard it's a tree house. Okay. All right, so let's we're going to move on here. And I want to show you something that our friend Chris McDonough from the interview room spoke about, and then we're going to go to something else right here. This is very interesting. Guys, make sure, mods, please drop the interview room with Chris McDonough's chat or link to his channel. Chris is a good friend of mine, and he is former homicide detective. His wife, Karen, was a former investigative reporter. And then because Dr. Gary Ricardo on here, he's a wonderful guy. He's an author and a psychologist. And then you got Dr. John Lamb, retired homicide sergeant, and Bill Gillum on here. And I think he's former.
And so this would be a complicated area to drive. The street is not off of a main thoroughfare. If we presume that the incident occurred after dark, we know that the neighborhood is dark, because if I understand what I saw in an article I read, is that there's a county code that prohibits the use of large spotlights or overhead lights from like 11 p.m. until
It's, the suspects in this case, the suspect or suspects, plural, would have driven around to the back area of this residence. And as John noted, the area is blacked out at night. And I used to live in an area here in Idaho that had a similar ordinance. It was rural, and we had an ordinance in that community, that part of where I live here in Idaho. And so I know just how dark it can be. And anyone that's been in that type of environment, I'm sure, would concur. So I think they took advantage of that. I'll say they, but the suspects took advantage of that, pulled around perhaps toward the back. And I know that there's some kind of outbuilding that might be an ADU or something beyond the garage area,
guys,
of the home. And
so now that we know that they're looking for this allegedly, I'll say, this unidentified man, right? Yeah. Joan, if you want to send that to me, you can text it. You guys can text me any news that's going on. You'll be 100% anonymous, 307-228-4906, or you can email it to me. One
There's
thing
Justin's email. Oops.
there that's nope, that's wrong, Daphne. That's wrong.
I got it. Yeah, here. Let me remove that.
One thing that they're supposedly looking for this unidentified male now. That means perhaps if this is, true, that they're looking for this unidentified male, or if the FBI already knows who it is. I mean, I think they already know who it is, in my opinion. But if not, that means someone may have helped, or I don't know. We'll have to see. It's crazy in those AZ areas where you can see all the stars. And yep.
Most likely entered through the rear of the residence, spent a fairly significant time inside the residence, and then most likely, even though we found blood in the front, Nancy's blood in the front, I still think that they left out the back, loaded her into the car, and then left, most likely blacked out. So anyway, my point is, I think the location is familiar, very familiar to the suspects, and whether that is, I don't think it's random. Let me put it that way. And while I'm commenting on that, I don't think that this is a coincidence that the victim here is the mother of a very prominent TV personality. I don't believe in coincidences of this type, and I don't think it's a coincidence in this case.
Okay. So, Dr. Gary, what's your initial thought process about the geographical area here?
Well, it's interesting to hear Bob and John talk about this, because, Chris, when you and I were on the last time, just the two of us talking, we were looking at what looked like tire tracks.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is that we had concluded that this offender or offenders came in through the back, right, sort of inveigled themselves into the house through the back, and yet it looked like the vehicle was sort of not where, like you would take a person back through the same place you came in, where you were concealing yourself through the back. Why go through the front? It's interesting to hear Bob say he doesn't think that that's what happened, because we were wondering about that.
It happened at the front door.
And given where the vehicle looks like it would have been positioned and all that, it led to some conjecture that maybe what went on in there is not what was actually planned, because there wasn't this idea like I'm going to have to take a, unfortunately, potentially not living person or living person out of this home with me. And so there might have been some intention to go in there in one thing, and things went sideways. But the other thing I think is important to point out, I said it last time, but I want to say it again, even just for the new audience members and John and Bob, is that one of the ideas that I have put forward in the literature, in the forensic literature, is what I've called an elimination murder. Now, I don't want to go to the idea of murder here, but an elimination murder simply means that you don't necessarily have ill will towards a person, but a person that you know is an impediment to something, like your freedom, because they know something that they're not supposed to know, they've discovered by accident, they're a witness, an impediment to money, impediment to a romance, whatever, so that it's just sort of like business in the person's mind.
Right.
And what is interesting is that in the many cases of that I have identified, almost invariably, there is the staging of an outside individual, a random stranger, coming into the situation and killing somebody or abducting somebody. But because the person is not a sophisticated killer or offender, it's always lousy. Law enforcement figures it out very quickly because they do silly things. Like there's a home invasion where there's been no SA, there's been no robbery, there's no reason for anybody to even break in, that kind of thing. So I think I am suspicious about that possibility that there's some staged kind of quality to this. But I am also open to the possibility that we're going to discover that there's a much more commonplace kind of explanation of it. But I think my tendency is start simple. Don't start with, a sexually perverse person broke in. A person broke in with some peculiar psychology where they think they're the next, Zodiac killer, sending messages to the news to get attention. If we keep it simpler, I think first we have to eliminate all the obvious things. And so that was my sense of things. And that what you're saying about the movement through the doors and so forth is fascinating to me, because I really don't understand why you wouldn't take the person through the same door that you snuck in through. And looking at those, do you see the tire tracks we're talking about? I'm really curious what you guys think. Chris, is it okay if we ask about the tire tracks?
Yeah, when you look at this was one of the original photographs that was taken right away from a drone. And if you look at this indentation in the dirt up here, it appears that somebody, may have turned here. And even if I can't zoom in on it right here, hang on, maybe I can. Stand by.
Chris, are you referring to the upper right-hand corner of the photo?
Yes, in the upper right-hand corner.
Okay, that's right in front of the garage, I believe.
Yes, and what I thought was interesting now that here, let me pull it up a little bit more. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
As I pull it in, what say you guys? I mean, I just thought it was an anomaly there into the dirt, and the first impression that I had was, wow, that looks like some type of tire indentation or something to that effect.
Above the bushes up there in the right corner, right?
Yeah, in the upper right-hand quadrant up here. Right. And it's interesting that the sheriff, this is probably a good segue to go into the timeline. I mean, Bob, what time did he say she got home? Hang on, let me check. 9:48 p.m.
Right.
She's dropped.
Do you have that thing at the Navy SEAL, Daff?
Yeah, I have it pulled up right here down below. Yeah, I have it pulled up.
Okay. Let me, here, we're going to play this real quick. 1 second. We're going to come back to this in just 1 second. Okay. I'm going to play
All right.
that.
Let me make sure the volume's up. All right. I'm going to put closed captions on too. I know some people were saying they were having.
Well, we are continuing to track new developments in the disappearance of 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie as the search now stretches into a 7th day.
It's glitching.
If FBI and local police say they are now probing the authenticity of a second letter. Alicia Acuna is live outside Nancy Guthrie's home in Tucson. Alicia, are we getting any updates from law enforcement?
Well, Aisha, about an hour ago, the Pima County Sheriff's Department posted on media there will be no news conference. They do not have one scheduled. If there's a major development, they will notify us immediately and come to the cameras. And they also said that the sheriff here, Chris Nanos, won't be doing any one-on-one interviews. This comes, as you just mentioned, there was a lot of activity over the last 24 hours right behind me here at Nancy Guthrie's home. We saw law enforcement here late in the afternoon, and they were here for hours. Our drone team had gotten up later in the evening around 9 o'clock, and they were still working this area. They were gathering evidence around the garage, around the side of the house, and also searching the terrain in the general area.
Okay, Alicia
Can you
Acuna,
go
live
back
for
to
us.
that
Alicia,
house?
thank you. Joining me now with analysis is Navy
Oh,
SEAL
wait,
Officer
no, never mind. Don't worry about it.
Officer
Don't worry
Dan
about it because it'll
O'Shea
pause.
and former FBI Special Agent.
Evidence
Don't pause it because
around the
it'll.
garage, around the side of the house,
No.
and also searching the terrain in the general
Okay.
area.
Wait, you got it paused on YouTube? Is this on YouTube?
Hey, Alicia Acuna, live for us.
No, it's on the art. It's on their website.
You're freezing, Daff, your camera.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead and play
No,
it.
it's on their website.
Okay.
Yes, Alicia, thank you. Joining me now with analysis is Navy SEAL Officer Dan O'Shea and former FBI Special Agent Ren McEachran.
This is very interesting. right
Dan
here.
and
Which is-
Ren, thank you for joining us. Alicia mentioned a lot of activity in the last day or so around the house, but it has been 7 days now. We're entering week 2, and we know that Nancy Guthrie has medical ailments that she needs medicine for. What is your gut telling you on this Saturday afternoon? I'll start with you, Dan.
Well, everyone knows she was, in ill health, had to be on daily medications. It's almost now a week, unless she's the kidnappers, whoever is holding her, were able to get those prescriptions for her. The clock is ticking. The deadline is approaching. This latest flurry of activity lends more to maybe more of a forensic homicide reinvestigation of the house to go down to the detail that might have been missed in the earlier search. They've tried to block off the press and the media, but it is not trending well, and it's not a positive turn of events.
Ren, that doesn't sound like a good sign. If you have law enforcement agents that are just going back to the house just because they think they might have missed something, instead of this being maybe a new clue.
Yeah, oftentimes, right, you do go back to the crime scene, maybe get new information, but I do think, right, they're surging resources. I know the FBI is bringing more resources, so they're actually looking at things differently, making sure they didn't miss anything. But also, if they're up on the roof doing these other things, that maybe other parts of the investigation aren't moving, so they're having to do some extreme ideas on what to collect. The more information I hear on the case, the more it just seems odd and doesn't make sense to me. Now we have a second ransom note, and if that's actually true and authenticated with actually doesn't have a deadline, but the other ones did, it just seems to get all this mixed information. So we really ask more questions, and I know they're doing the best they can, but I think it seems to be the case is maybe stalling.
Well, there are people out there wondering if it's even a ransom note because there isn't proof of life. There aren't any more demands. The communication is very strange with whoever it is that's communicating with, not even law enforcement or the family, but with local TV stations. Doesn't that raise concerns, Dan? That was one of the first things I thought of was, why are these letters going to local TV stations?
No meds.
Well, that's the point, that there has never been good faith. If it's kidnap for ransom is a business. You play by the rules, you negotiate behind the scenes. You don't want law enforcement involved. You don't want the media involved. And you don't want the president of the United States or the FBI director to be weighing in on daily tweets and whatnot. It is the theater of the absurd. And I'm of the take that the immediate attention is what they wanted out of this. So you have to look at the motivations. I don't think it's money. Nothing was stolen from the scene, but it was the attention. But what's got me most concerned is that the violence engaged to grab an 84-year-old woman. And that's why I'm concerned about this. And we don't know if those ransom notes are even coming from the kidnappers or hostage takers, or the abductors themselves. So a lot of troubling things. In 20 years of looking at kidnappings, after 2 years in Iraq dealing with hundreds, literally, I've seen nothing like this in the last 25 years.
That's what
Same.
That's what I keep hearing, Ren. I mean, this is
Yeah.
not like any other case. And I know every case is unique
Never
and
seen
every
anything
victim
like
is
this.
unique, but this is so strange. It's not following an average order of sequence of events. It's sort of all over the place.
Yeah, these abductions usually fall into 2 buckets, right? Dan was mentioning one, monetary relief or looking for some sort of financial gain. The other one is revenge, right? And if they're not being good stewards or not actually negotiating, then it's likely the other, it's revenge, right? And if it's revenge, those outcomes, right, cannot be always that great. So I'm hoping the men and women that are looking at this case are working hard and they're looking at leads that maybe aren't aware of. And even President Trump said, he chose his words carefully when he made that statement from Air Force One. He said there may be a solution coming from either DOJ or FBI. Now, that also gives me the impression that maybe they know something, that maybe she's alive, but that's an interesting word, solution. And it makes you think that maybe they're going to bring some sort of news or bring some sort of resource that may help.
I think the president has given us way more information than maybe local law enforcement have. Don't you think? This is Chris Nanos talking about how they don't have even a person of interest, let alone a suspect. Watch.
At this time, we have not identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case. We are working our best to do that. But to be clear, we have nobody of interest or any suspects that you would consider a prime suspect. We're just not there. We're not there yet.
Can I just say, when this all first happened, Dan, I thought about my parents. And I'm sure a lot of people watching right now thought the same thing. If this can happen to an older parent who is living alone on their own, this could happen to any one of our moms and dads out there. And that's what the scary part is. We don't know if these people
they don't start
are
attacking
related to Nancy Guthrie, know
people like
her, are
this.
they local, are they strangers, are they from across the border? We have no idea. And that's the scariest part, is if it can happen to her, why can't it happen to some other family in America?
Absolutely.
100%. And again, that there is the possibility this was a random, maybe home invasion that went wrong. Again, we know nothing was stolen from the property, at least that's been released. But what really, that blood drops at the entrance, they were pretty significant. They weren't like small. They were, so that's what's got me very concerned. And what mindset of someone that's going to get violent on an 84-year-old grandmother? It really gives you pause. And
Think
I think
about
to the
that.
point my colleague just made earlier, I don't
Very
think this
good
is about
point.
money. It's about potentially revenge. And again,
what is it?
30. I mean, who is going to get violent with an 84-year-old woman? First of all, whoever does that, your thing is frozen deaf. I just want to. Is going to be, that's weird. Just in general, that someone would do this to an 84-year-old woman, especially one that has lived her life just in absolute peace. You know what I mean? Just an absolute peace.
Personal.
I know, but like Nancy Guthrie, like there's just nothing that I can think of that she would ever like harm, I mean, other than someone want money or, not wanting to be exposed with something.
Why now?
Or she knows something she shouldn't. Yeah, like that's it.
Why now? And like you mentioned earlier, how Savannah was supposed to go to Milan, and there's a family member that is from Italy, right? I don't know if they're from Milan, but coincidence? I don't know. I don't.
13604.
So I got some photos too of them. There's media swarming out in front of her home too right now.
Just 1 second. I'm going to play something right here.
Do you want me to get rid of this?
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yes, 13604. Our friend Chris McDonough from the interview room. Because yesterday, I have pictures of this too. of what the FBI may have been using yesterday in those case markers. Hold on, but look at this.
An
Watch this.
ICAC.
Oh.
team.
I had no idea what this
Okay, what? But
It
what?
was like Matthew Modine on the screen.
No, just the way you laid it all out, Gary and John and Bob, it was like the heavens just went and just opened for a second, because I thought, wait a minute, what the heck is going on here?
With the ICAC element of it.
So, Chris, just explain for everybody what ICAC is and what this ICAC detective may be doing.
So yeah, and Bob and John, you guys also jump in. Okay, ICAC is Internet Crimes Against Children.
This is what they were talking about.
Now, this device that he has in this box here,
I got it. Hold on.
is what they call a UFED.
This is
And
interesting.
he's carrying it
I sent you
into
2 of them. Yep.
the sister's home within about 2 miles away. Now, what this device is capable of doing is
Maybe they were trying to intercept
everything
where the
on
ransoms were
electronic
coming from.
devices within inside of that home.
What's that? What, Daph?
Maybe they were trying to intercept where the ransom notes were coming from. I don't know.
No,
Maybe they were trying to intercept
this
where the ransom
this is
notes
at the
were coming
home.
from.
No, this is at the home. This is just listen.
Is dumping everything on electronic devices within inside of that home. It's basically phones, computers, laptops, iPads. All you need is wires, and they're all in that box. You take the devices and you plug them in, and you go, wow, okay, we appreciate you. And then you go back, and then there's software back at the office that runs this stuff up, and you get emails, you get text messages, you get photographs, everything in these electronic devices. You get IP addresses. Everything is in that box, UFED. Okay, and Bob, John, you and I both know where I'm going, but.
Yeah. So an ICAC detective may be there with some suspicion that there is potentially a device containing pornographic material on it, child porn to be specific. Am I right, Chris? Is
yeah,
that where you're going?
Right. How many?
Which home are we at here? We are at his home, right? And you got to remember, guys, I don't want to talk about him because I'm going to feel horrible if he is not involved. But he is a teacher.
Just speculate. I mean,
he's a teacher.
Yes.
He's a teacher. When the moon hits your eye, he's Italian. He's a teacher. His name is Tommaso. You say tomato, I say Tommaso.
How many times have we been involved in these high-profile situations, and you don't pick up the phone? Okay, John, you're the case agent. Are you calling ICAC?
No, there tends to be, and in fact, during my years working in an evidence room in a large police department here in Virginia, there tends to there must be specific information that would lead ICAC investigators to either use that device or, I've also seen them seize all the devices in a house. But no, you don't. I can think of one murder scene in all that I worked where had ICAC existed, I would have called them. But no, you would not ordinarily call ICAC out for.
Now, Chris and these guys are making a very good point here, but it's making it, yeah, it's
uncomfortable.
very interesting. It's very interesting. And this is the thing. This could be something that the family has no idea that it's, obviously is part of it or whatever. Or
Mhm.
even Nancy could have, came
Yeah.
to someone and said, listen, what's going on here? Or if, she said she was going to even turn someone in, or that she was concerned
Saw
or
something.
whatever.
Mhm.
That's a reason.
Yep, motive.
Mm-hmm.
Saw
Yeah.
something that night, maybe.
Yeah. Were the cards falling in?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Perhaps this happened through a different channel like FBI or some other overseer's investigation like CIA. This would be FBI. This would be FBI.
There's a couple articles from the other day on it that I sent over to you.
A kidnapping, or
very interesting.
For a homicide.
Right. So the sheriff, I thought was pretty slick because he played it off very quickly. One of the reporters said, "Hey, we saw ICAC there. Why are they there?" And the sheriff said, "Oh, well, we called everybody out. We needed people, there. And, those guys, et cetera, et cetera." And then, I was on a show today, Nancy Grace's show, and they had, a Reno guy there who's a great guy. And he's like, well, maybe the people that had the UFED weren't available, and they knew that the ICAC guys were available. And so they called these guys over to come in and search. And so both of those are potentially plausible answers. However, now I did a little research, and I find out, according to the initial research, is that somebody in that house may have been a school teacher.
Bingo.
A 6th grade teacher.
Yes.
I don't know anything about this.
No, I'm talking about it here now.
6th
No,
grade.
it's the first time.
6th grade.
Okay.
6th
I've heard this.
grade.
Mm-hmm.
Biology, out of all things, by the way. Biology.
Mm.
Biology.
There's a buy.
I heard whiffs of it, but not the specifics that you just.
Okay, so this is now, John, remember when we hooked up the kindergarten teacher years ago in the early 90s, Bobby? I don't know if you remember that one where he had his Polaroid collections and stuff.
Yep.
And John, didn't you work the caper that had all the Marines?
Yeah, that's the case I was referring to that had ICAC. And it wasn't just Marines. It was obviously adolescents from 13 to 18, but had ICAC existed, and that's presuming that there would have been digital files, but that was a murder from 1986.
Yeah, and so you ran into, while doing a search warrant, all of this stuff that broke open a huge case on Camp Pendleton, California, because most of the people in the photographs were in the Marine Corps. I remember that one.
Well,
right?
you're confusing that, Chris, with when I was a detective sergeant.
Okay.
And one of my but you've got the facts right on that. Although NIS was interested in the earlier case, but And in fact, the case you're referring to began with one of my detectives coming into me and saying he had information about child pornography being distributed. And he was a burglary detective, but I just told him to run with it. I mean, I had great detectives working for me. They were just magnificent. And so he chased it down. And what we did discover was that there was no child pornography, but there was a vast store of photographs of Marines. And there had already been initially a Camp Pendleton.
Don't use the P word, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, the story did explode, and you've hit the big time when Johnny Carson refers to your case is part of his opening monologue on the Tonight Show.
Really?
Oh, it was. My brother was living in New York City at the time and knew I was a detective sergeant, and they were talking about this story. And my brother said to himself, or said to his wife, gee, I wonder if my brother's involved. And then the announcer on the news says, now we have Detective Sergeant John Lamb to comment on it. And so he had the answer to that. But jumping back to this, yes, you will see this connection.
Right.
Somebody in the audience just said, who's Johnny Carson?
Yes.
Right.
Thanks for making me feel older than I am.
What are your thoughts about that? I mean, it's pretty compelling, in my opinion, that the only reason, like, they don't go out there for anything, like, they have a reason they're going out there on this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's quite interesting, the point that Chris brings up right there. Yes, please use in my opinion or allegedly, whatever, you're welcome to have your opinion. But again, there has been no suspects or persons of interest named in this whatsoever, at all, whatsoever. So there's that. Do you have something you want to talk about, Dav?
No, I just want to show some photos of the media lining up there. Look at this.
Oh yeah, it's been like this.
There's a ton of media.
Yeah, it's a frenzy.
Look at this.
It is a frenzy.
With that much?
Oh yeah.
All the way down the road.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I've done stories like this before, and it's crazy when these things happen. And what these guys do, they sit out, a lot of them just in their cars or their vans, waiting for something to happen, something to break. And some of them have some really good sources if they're local, and they might know just a little bit ahead of time before something's going to break. I swear, I think it's almost 4:00 here, so it's what 1:45 in there. So I think we're gonna be close to something tonight. I really do.
I do too. And there's a lot of the law enforcement commentators and retired law enforcement, along with just regular people, seem to believe that it's either someone in her close orbit. I'm just going to say that. And
it has to be, in my opinion.
It has to be, especially with the cameras inside not being removed, but yet the Ring doorbell camera was physically removed, or whatever, Nest camera or whatever she had. I heard it was a Nest camera, which is no longer made by Google. It was discontinued in 2021, the Google Nest. So I don't know if it was the Ring or if it was a Google Nest camera. I don't know if Google Nest just uses the cloud, but I don't know. Just something I was thinking about a minute ago. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is a reporter outside there.
KG9 reporter Eddie Salaya here in front of Nancy Guthrie's house in the foothills, where last night there was a lot of action. Let me walk you through what we know and what we are covering. Earlier in the evening, police, sheriff's department, and the FBI came and moved the press back about a half block. We're not sure what they were here to investigate, but later in the evening, a vehicle was removed from this residence. Now, a little bit later on, authorities also searched a Circle K near the intersection of Rudisill and Oracle, about 10 minutes west of this house, and there they were looking for some surveillance footage. I'll have a little bit more for you on what went on last night and what's going on today here on KG9. KG9 reporter Eddie Salaya here in front of Nancy Guthrie's house in the foothills.
Okay, so I see what you
where
were
last
talking
night
about
there was a lot of action.
You were someone wrote a lot of law enforcement commentators and members of the public are reasonably certain that it's a family member / someone in her orbit. If this is true, she's not coming back alive unless the FBI traces her location and a SWAT team rescues her, as if the kidnapper releases her, she could identify them straight away. If it is a family member, someone in her orbit, are the ransom letters to the press just to throw off authorities or a genuine attempt to extort money rather? This is too weird and too sad for words. Again, I have said this almost 3 days now. I believe this is absolutely to buy time for the kidnapper, or not the kidnapper, but the person who did this. I think it's just to off-throw. It's just to buy time. It's just a distraction.
Distraction. Yep. I agree
And that's
100% with you.
That's all it is. You would have showed one, like I said, an 80-some-year-old lady. Not only is it hard to move them or anything, but they're very delicate. They could die at any minute just being sitting there, and especially without their medicine and everything too. You are going to show that picture of Nancy Stat. Here
Yeah.
she is. She's alive and well. Cough up the money. Cough up the money. Let's get on the show. I don't want her here. I just want my money. I want to get on with it. Andale. Give me money.
And let me go on my way. Yeah. Yeah, they're distracting. They're creating a diversion, in my opinion. So they have a little bit more time to need to do what they're going to do or whatever, move around or what have you.
Walton, I've not seen that, but let's see here. Where do you sit? Because someone saying Fox News is reporting that Tommaso is taken into custody, but please don't be lying in here. If
I just sent you a new video too. It was just posted.
Can you text it to me?
Yeah, I did. Okay. I did. So a couple hours ago, FBI and police have left Nancy Guthrie's house again.
He's a troll. Okay. That's not funny. That's not funny. We're not
No,
going
it's
to.
not.
That's not funny.
No.
Take care of that. Take care of that.
Who, me?
This is, guys, I know, I understand that it can be exciting and stuff like this. Like, I get it. But we also got to understand, if this was your family, it's not as exciting.
Nope.
Do you know what I'm saying? I've
Your
told you
elderly
guys
mom.
that, right before there's been a murder in my family. And trust me, I understand that it's can be entertaining, but it's not entertaining. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You just got to remember these are real people's lives. We cannot forget
Real feelings.
that. Don't forget
Mm-hmm.
the human element of that's not a joke, Sherry.
Yeah.
No, not a joke. It's not funny. It's not funny. I don't ever find that a joking situation
Mm-mm.
to write that. I just don't. Well,
yes.
I'm not trying to be like a jerk about it or anything like that, but it's just not something to joke about, because that, number one, that's false information. It's nothing to joke about. Number two, you just named someone, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not exactly fair either.
Mm-mm.
So, anywho, you showed me something. Okay, this is brand
Yes.
new out.
Yes, I just want to read this too. So yes, so the Chevron, the one on Oracle and Rudskill Road, they absolutely gave their footage to the FBI because someone was asking. It's between where Nancy lives and
Yep,
where
where the Dairy
Annie
Queen is.
lives. Yeah,
Mhm.
somebody was asking, so I wanted to answer that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, this is sad, guys. This
84-year-old
Brand
Nancy
new.
Guthrie, as officials now investigate the
Turn it up a little
authenticity
bit.
of a new note sent to a local Tucson TV station.
It's as
Anchors
loud as it
there
goes.
say that it included
Just mute it.
sensitive details about Guthrie, but no deadline. New details are also emerging about the hours before she vanished. Investigators confirm the blood on Guthrie's porch is hers. Both her doorbell camera and pacemaker app went offline around 2 a.m. on Sunday. The heartbroken Guthrie family making desperate pleas for proof that she is still alive. Nothing has been provided. This, as 6 days have already passed, Guthrie relies on medication that could be life-threatening to skip. Now President Trump says that he's prepared to send additional federal agents in to help as the clock ticks toward two deadlines in a ransom note that was sent to TMZ demanding millions in Bitcoin. The first deadline was tied to the payout and passed on Thursday. A second deadline is on Monday, and the note warns that missing this deadline could come with a consequence. News Nation's Brian Enton has been live in Tucson, Arizona, joins us now with more. So, Brian, what is the latest on the new message and the items that investigators are examining this week?
Well, you mentioned President Trump, Jessica. He perhaps has provided the biggest clue that they may be closing in on a suspect or some kind of resolution. He called it a solution.
Brand
He
new.
was asked
Brand
on Air
new.
Force One about, well, will there be a bigger search? And he said, we may have a solution soon. So things could be progressing quickly behind the scenes. Here outside Nancy Guthrie's house right now, relatively quiet.
Me either,
Remember, there was
Sharon.
this
Oh my
big
God.
police presence last night, the FBI. The sheriff showed up. They closed the roads down. We had to move out of the way. They moved us a block away. They did the new investigative work, and now they're gone. But look at this video, Jessica. This was interesting. Last night, we were able to see them towing a car away from Nancy Guthrie's house. We have the circle right there so you can see it. It is a blue Subaru, and it is the same vehicle that was inside Nancy Guthrie's garage. Why all of a sudden, 6 days into the investigation, would they be towing away Nancy's blue Subaru out of the garage? We don't know, but it had a police escort, and they took the car away, and they were also up on the roof. You can see there. There was actually a surveillance camera that I'm told a neighbor pointed out that they went back and took off
See
of the roof
what I tell ya?
yesterday. And there's also a floodlight
Look at this.
that they removed off
Look at the
of the
roof.
back of the house. And remember, the floodlight could be significant because in the first ransom note, they referenced a floodlight. So that's perhaps why they were so interested in the floodlight on the
Thank you,
back of the
Emily
house.
Ross.
Jessica?
Welcome to the
Yeah, this is
Pearl
also
family.
wild, Brian. What are federal agents doing over the past 12 hours to try and just move the case forward? I mean, I know
Thank
you
you,
mentioned
love.
the
Welcome.
Subaru being moved out of there. What else are they doing?
Yeah, so they've been canvassing the neighborhood. I mean, we saw them out here yesterday knocking on doors, trying to find more video. Similar scene over at Annie Guthrie's house, which is about 10 minutes away from here. That is Savannah's sister, Nancy's other daughter. They were canvassing the neighborhood there. There was something interesting that happened there late last night. We saw 3 deputies just showed up at Annie Guthrie's house, went into the driveway. We were trying to keep an eye on what was going on. It's so dark out here. It didn't look like they went into the house, but they were parked in the driveway. So there's a lot of activity. There were also deputies out at a gas station not very far from Annie Guthrie's house asking about surveillance video. So, you know, there's a lot of moving pieces right now we're trying to keep an eye on. And again, based on what President Trump said, it seems like there could be some pretty big developments to come soon. Jessica?
Okay, News Nation's Brian Enton, thank you for joining us from Tucson today.
Thank you for watching.
What time do y'all think? Oh my God.
So
it's just dragging on.
Says they
What's that?
DNA. Hold on. I just seen somebody's message. I was just reading some you just heard where they have DNA but are waiting on forensics. KA, do you know where you saw that? Or seen that post?
Okay. What was that? KO what? I can't remember. KO. Shit.
KOA?
I was saying it earlier.
Oh, I know. KOLD.
That's right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I was like, KOA? I don't even know where that came from. Play what I just sent you.
Trump says
that was
okay. This right here.
Let's see.
Oh no, that's earlier. You sent me
No.
something. Where did you send
I
me?
sent you something to your text.
349. That's what I just played, wasn't it? The Brian Enton.
No.
That's
I
that's
just
the
sent
whole
you
thing I
something
got.
else.
I didn't get it.
Okay, give me a second. I'll post it again. Give me a 1 minute.
Okay.
Hold on. I copied the link. Let me just come on. Well, I guess here. There you go.
What's that?
I just sent it again.
There we go. Got it that time.
Stomach is growling.
Oh, this is Mark where he talked to
Yeah.
yes. He's oh shit, I just knocked Daphne down.
No, I'm here.
No, I knocked you down for a second. I brought you right back up.
You know, before it was public, Savannah.
Oh.
She knows I live here. And then I called the sheriff and I called the Tucson police chief. So that was, that was mid-afternoon on Sunday. And Savannah was on the way to the airport to fly here. And obviously rather upset. So I've been doing whatever I can do. She's a friend. I've known her, and I just want to be there to support her. And I could hear. I didn't have much information, but I could hear, how stressful of a situation this was for her. But this case is in very capable hands with the sheriff and with the FBI, and I know they're doing everything they can. Well, I first learned of it, before it was public. Savannah called me. Because she knows I live here.
Boy,
the sheriff.
People are being, it's awfully quiet right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it just got me wondering why the media is being very quiet. Like, there's still a few things out, but they're being very quiet. I feel like it's going to bust open.
I know. I feel it too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Look at,
Sky Maiden.
what's that?
Yeah, the KOA. That is that's another case. As a campground, yes. Thank you. Yep.
The Independent just did something a minute ago, but
and we are joining in not only the prayers for Nancy Guthrie's return home safely, but analyzing the clues that have been left behind, Hunter. We have been covering and investigating Miss Guthrie's disappearance for days now. I worked with Savannah at Court TV, and you see her on the Today Show in the mornings, and she's amazing. But I would like to say that when she's not on camera, she's even more amazing. She's a wonderful, kind person. I never knew her to utter a cross word to anyone, unlike a lot of lawyers. And my heart really goes out to her. My mother, 94 years old, lives with us. She and my dad put me through Mercer University. And I can only imagine what Savannah and her family are going through right now. It just must be hell on earth. So I'm really feeling for Savannah right now. My friend Savannah Guthrie is suffering now. Her mother has disappeared.
So that's, of course, Nancy Grace coming out and speaking and all that. Let me show you what the Independent, I think it was the Independent, was talking about. Savannah Guthrie's mother kidnapping. The kidnapper, the FBI investigator says the person that is writing these letters wants to be in the spotlight, according to the FBI agent. He did an interview with News Nation's Daniel Brunner, a 20-year-old veteran of the Bureau, described that the taking of the 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie has not been a traditional kidnapping. The frantic search for Nancy has entered a week-long period. Authorities have not identified any suspects or ruled out any. Pima County Sheriff's Office Chris Nano said at the news conference before, but they said that the person writing these ransom letters, they wanted. What was that?
The
Are you
wind
okay?
outside blew my thing down. Hold on one second.
That scared the fuck out of me.
Me too. Me too.
I was reading. Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't even know
Okay.
how it blew it down, but it did.
I know you told me earlier the wind was blowing fierce.
Yeah, 50-mile-per-hour winds like off and on today here. Yeah, it's
Talk
crazy.
about breaking news.
Breaking
Literally.
breaking curtains.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, spirits. Yeah, it's weird. It's been up for years. I don't know why it just wanted to fall down now.
What was it?
My old curtain rod and curtain fell down. It's literally been up for like 3.5 years. So why would it fall down now?
Well, it sounds like glass or something.
Yeah.
It was metal, maybe.
Metal. Weird.
Okay.
Weird.
But they said they want to be the spotlight to put. They want to be on the spotlight to be put on this incident. The more attention this gets, the more dangerous it is for Nancy, because if it gets more attention, the kidnappers may do something irrational because they're getting nervous about the circle closing in on them. I just don't think she's alive. I don't. I pray to God I'm wrong.
I pray I am wrong too. I don't believe she is either. And I know some people in chat are asking who drove her home. So we heard she took the Uber there, and
Almost
that
drove her home by himself.
yes, by himself. Yeah, I don't think she is either. And like we were just talking about, I think it's all a ruse. Like it's just a distraction to bypass time or whatever. I agree.
Yeah. So guys, we are going to come back here in a little bit. We're gonna go grab some lunch. Daphne and I, and she's gonna go clean up whatever she needs to clean up, I guess, with the thing. As soon as there will be some more information coming out at the very minimum here in a little bit. If not, if anything breaks in 5 minutes from now, we'll be here.
Yeah.
Daphne and I will be here. So make sure you subbed up to Daphne and myself and hit that notification bell. We will be back within the next hour and a half, 2 hours for sure. So
Yeah.
make sure you
As soon
join
as
us.
something breaks.
It'll be scheduled I have not even ate today. I was up all night dealing with this, and
Yeah, I have only had like a tiny wrap.
I haven't had nothing. There's a
Yeah.
lot going on. There's a lot going on. Yes, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button. We will be back. Don't
Yeah.
forget it. And if
Yes, thank
anything
you all for being
breaks, we'll be here like ASAP. Got some sources in the
Yep.
area that's constantly texting us. It's very quiet right now, and I know as soon as I end this, it's
I
gonna
know.
happen.
It'll happen. Yeah. And then we'll be like, go back on, go back on.
Yeah, I know it is. But it's very weird. The media is very quiet right now. I know it's like 2:00 there, and they're done with their morning news and their afternoon news. But yesterday it was just all day, and it still is to a point.
Quiet.
But Fox is quiet on it right now. They're a lot more quiet on it, which kind of. And Brian has only done like one thing today.
Yeah, and I also heard that they were talking about the curtains are now closed at Nancy's house and when they've been opened. So I don't know if that means anything. Maybe that's why my curtains decided to fall down because who knows? So strange. Weird emoji.
I know.
Yeah.
My camera's crooked. I just realized that. It looks like I'm lopsided.
Mm.
All right, guys. Love you all. Appreciate you. And 1:00 in Arizona. 1:00 in Arizona?
Yeah, they're 3 hours behind. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I was thinking they're 2 hours behind. Okay. It's 1:00. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
Thank
think it
you
depends
all.
on what part of Arizona maybe you're in. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe like the closer you're to, yeah.
Yeah.
The
All right, guys.
distance.
Much love.
Peace. Love you guys. Thank you, Justin. We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you. All right.
Have a great day.